Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, live from London for you with a very interesting comparative overview between chartered cost and management accountant and certified management accountant from USA. We'll see what is the difference, what are the course content, what is the exam structure, and we will see different kind of differences and similarities. To discuss this, I have invited in our studios uh, a very bright and eminent woman who is herself is a unique combination of CMA USA and CIMA UK, CGMA as well. So it's a blend of two, the American education with British education. It will be lovely to hear and learn from her. Please welcome Khalood Muhammad Shaban, ACMA, CGMA, CMA USA. Welcome, Khalood, in our
Thank
studios.
you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm well. How about
That's
you? How is
that's
the weather
the
in UK?
Oh, London weather is always romantic and very nice, cloudy, rainy, which I like. Some people say bad weather, but for me, this weather is the perfect weather.
That's,
And I hope weather in Dubai is also pleasant now. And how's the
yes,
weather in Dubai?
it's very pleasant actually. This is the time of the year which we advise everybody to come and visit Dubai.
Wow, so the cold birds fly and they come to the hot waters, and this is how the Dubai becomes really beautiful because they have hot waters. So,
Yes.
Khalud, you have an interesting profile. You finish your CMA USA started 2014, and you finish your CIMA as well. So, I want to recap your memories and want to ask you what was the motive behind when you chose CMA USA, and what you feel the need to do CIMA UK.
Yes, basically, of course, nowadays anyone should have. There's no doubt that everyone should have a professional education because otherwise you cannot compete in the market. You cannot upgrade your skills and level of education, especially if you are in the professional field. There is an academic field which people prefer to go for masters and PhD. There is also the professional field, which if you want to reach to become a CFO, group CFO, and even in future CEO, you have to go through one of these professional qualifications or certifications. So basically, CMA USA was initially my target because it's into management and I love the combination between finance and management, accounting and management. So, in order to upgrade my skills, I went for CMA USA because it's a two-part examination, which I find it very attainable and you know of course it needs its commitment, especially if you are working, having to tackle between your work and home and everything, but still it is as a two-part examination. It's very doable with a little commitment, so I opted initially to go for CMA, and I studied and completed it in 2015, which was a great achievement for me. Then, because I get involved more into, uh, British side of the business, and also I had some going back and forth to the UK for completing some business expansions and work for Berkeley. So what I did is I opted to complete my CIMA, which I find also a big addition because it's a globally recognized British education, and education is well known around the world how strong it is. So I felt that I have crossed some years without studying more and adding more to my knowledge. So I thought it's time to have additional education. And I opted for CIMA because I wanted to advance in this side of management accounting. I didn't want to change my direction because other certifications has different focus, which wasn't my need.
That's amazing to hear. And what we always believe that in Middle East area, we are more bombarded with CMA USA information. And while when it comes to UK is very dominantly controlling, CIMA is controlling the management accounting. So you are right that you had a good combination in terms of covering the Gulf region and the British regions as well. So, what was your exam experiences like? Where you studied from, where you prepare yourself, and who was your teachers? Can you just recap your memories?
Yes, yes, for sure. Of course, since I started my studying journey, I have started it with Berkeley, Middle East, where I'm currently working as a CFO, acting CEO. So after two like long years of working with Berkeley, so I started my education with CMA, where yourself, Dr. Musa, was my teacher, and which helped me a lot through everything, through the preparation, through the questions coming in my mind, the support, and even afterwards, after I finish all the mentoring support and guidance, which helped me choose where I want to go and what exactly I want to do. So this is where I joined Berkeley, and also with my CIMA studies too. I have obviously completed with Berkeley too. We have many good trainers in Berkeley, which really helped me through passing this exam, and of course, these exams for CIMA, and of course, with the help and support of yourself, Dr. Musa, I got to pass my exams from first attempts.
Oh, that's amazing. I remember when I saw you first time, I always felt that you have a great capability and you did it, and you showed it that you are good in time management and your resource planning. And so, with this, let's go ahead for our audience who's listening. Let's share our experiences. So, I'm going to start with CMA USA, and then I will hand over you for the information for CIMA. So, let's see, like CMA USA, what is the course structure? And I'm straight away going to jump on. Uh, the explaining that CMA has two parts. So, and for me, it's like a short course. When especially when you are going to compare CIMA versus CMA. So, when Khalud is going to explain what is a CIMA structure, you will see 16 exams, dense books, lot of different fields in general. So you will see that it's really going to be a sort of a graduation program. But when we see like CMA USA, I always feel that CMA is a sort of short course which has a good collection of topics, and these topics are really relevant for CFOs, director, finance, management accountants, and those who are planning and strategy guys. They really help them in different ways. So as you can see that CMA has two parts. Both parts are independent. So if you're more close to the finance, so you can take part two first, or you can take part one. You don't need to be in the sequence. Anyways, you feel comfortable, you can start up. And in part one, we have different subjects. So it's not one subject. We have topics like external financial reporting, which was added a couple of years before. I mean, if you are a CMA 10 years before or 20 years before, CMA never focused on financial reporting, but now they have added this as a part of the curriculum. 15% of the exam weightage has been given. So now all the new CMAs are learning about financial reporting, and they are understanding what is in a balance sheet, how the statement of cash flow looks, and what are the implications from planning point of view. They study about the topics like impairment, depreciation, the methods, and R&D, research and expenses, research and development expenses. They see the difference between IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, and US GAAPs. So this is a really interesting topic. I personally like it, and because it gives you a lot of insight between US market and the rest of the world. Cost accounting used to be a huge area in CMA exams, but because of new advancement, new technology, topics has been changed, and the emphasis on cost management has also reduced. So some people always feel it harder to do this topic areas, especially when it comes to the complex calculations of the inventory valuation and stock valuation, what you call, and and absorption costing, or maybe activity based costing. You used to feel a bit nervous on these topics, but it's likely now it is better. It is the content is condensed, and the difficulty level is manageable. Of course, every management account is looking for the performance and reporting to the CFO or CEO, whatever roles you are in. So we always go for performance management. We see how we can better perform, how can we better uh, evaluate, for example, stock planning, just-in-time inventory management system, theory of constraints, and topics like who actually optimize your resources in a better way. They goes for CMA performance management areas. Very interesting area, mostly theoretical, non-numerical question marked. So you can do a lot scoring in this area. The core and integral, the heaviest area in CMA Part 1, financial planning, performance and control, is planning, budgeting, and forecasting. My favorite area, this is what we do always: business diligence, due diligence, business planning, feasibility studies. So we always feel that it's a very updated knowledge. We see about budgeting, we see what is a master budget, and we see about what is zero-based budgeting. We see that how we make a cost of goods sold budget. We see the sales forecasting tools and techniques. We see the operations. We see a lot of planning, asset planning or liability management, forecasting, looking ahead by using mathematical, statistical tools, It's a very amazing area, and it's quite exam focused. And once we do the practice, of course, it has quite a good learning. And last two areas are always theoretical, and these are internal controls. And in internal controls, we see the COSO frameworks like Committee of Sponsoring Organization in America, and we see how organizations effectively control their staff. And moving forward, we look into risk assessments. We see what are the risk quantification, how to see the risk impact. All these topics are in internal control and internal audit activity. Obviously, we as a CMA, we are not aiming to be an internal auditor, but we are going to understand how things move from a management point of view, because as a CMA you work for management, and management is not only accountants, they look into legal compliance and various other matters. So it's a really interesting, I always feel it's a condensed form of a separate qualification, certified internal auditing, because I'm teaching that one as well. So I always feel there is a close connection. Technology and analytics are, of course, advancing. So you need to know what is the concept of big data. All the companies who are becoming really rich, like Google, Microsoft, Apple, they have big data. They have all the customers' contact details, phone numbers, and they can then even through their technologies, they can know what is our buying patterns, and this can really help some companies to grow their business. So we always see what is a blockchain, how to use the tables, sort of like. We learn always in Microsoft Power BI, where how to link, what how to link, what to link, or how to make the tables more effectively. That's all we understand in the topic of technology and analytics. Amazing collection of topics. Of course, 4 hour exam, 3 hours for multiple choice question, one for structured response. So you have ample to perform in a way that can make you feel and look and understand like a professional person. So part one is all about these topics. Moving forward in part two, we have financial management. So it's all one subject. It's a one subject, unlike the part one, which is a composition of different topics and subjects. Here we have only one subject. Now, when you see only one subject, it sometimes make you a bigger relief, because if you are good in finance, you studied in your graduation, so you can easily cope up with this. We always start with a very interesting and more practical topic, which is financial statement analysis. So here we learn what is liquidity, what is solvency, what is gearing ratios, and what is debt to equity ratio. We see the market ratios, we see the ratios related to profitability, performance, and efficiency, and that's give us the financial health all together in a different way. It's a very important skill for a management accountant or a management, because management will always get good responses, good information from the financial statement analysis. Corporate finance is for the corporations. In America, corporates are called, the companies are called corporates, and through a range of finance, it may be a long term loan, it can be equity, it can be any other thing that can be really arranged. And we do certain type of decisions which are based on the risk and the returns. So how to take decisions, what are the formulas, do we calculate profitability index, we see how to prioritize which project to select, what not to select. Risk management is really important in financial management. So we always see what is the risk, how can we mitigate this risk, how we calculate, what are the methods. We always study different traditional methods like CAPM, capital asset pricing model. We see the concept of beta, Obviously, there are some concepts like delta, gamma. These are some very beautiful topics that actually we look into. And obviously, we take a lot of investment decisions. So we need to take time value of money. We see DCF, discounted cash flows, NPV, IRR, and a couple of other important concepts which are really important to think like a financial person. And obviously, no institute is complete without professional ethics because all the members should be fair, honest. They should maintain some confidentiality and they should be dependable, trustable. So that is what exactly is about CMA. Now, CMA of both exams, 4 hours each, 3 hours for multiple choice question, 1 hour for the structured exams, and where you have to write, type in the keyboard. So I feel that this exam is really good. It's a mix of applied and theoretical composition, which makes things very easy. I have students who have finished the CMA in 2 months, 3 months max. So it's not a sort of course which require like CIMA for 2 years, 3 years. So it's if you are confused between CMA and CIMA, or you want to do both like Khulud, what I will suggest is always start CMA USA first, finish it off in 2 to 3 months, and then move forward to the longer course CIMA. And of course, there is also a shortcut. They have some C-suite program, which obviously Khalud is going to explain you today. So with this, I conclude my presentation, and I'm going to hand over the mic to Khalud Shaban.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Khalud, so the mic is with you, and please go ahead with your and enlighten all of us with CIMA and what shortcut we have. How can we get, if I'm a professional, I have very less time and I have 5 year experience, or I have no qualification. So, what I need to do? Do we have some shortcuts? All these things are over to you now.
Thank you. Thank you for the comprehensive explanation for the CMA. I will give some insight on CIMA and the different routes for it. And from there, I can also do some maybe help for the candidates to decide in between these two certificates. So basically, the CIMA. Okay. Um, Now, as Dr. Musa explained, the main difference in terms of study that CMA is a two-part exam with, of course, certain criteria that you have to be a graduate in order to be able to do it. Whereas the CIMA, of course, is a long uh, qualification with 16 papers where you have to be just like graduate school leaver in order for you to be able to enter into it. Uh, you can make it bigger, Imtiaz. So, okay. So basically, there are levels for the CIMA. There are four levels. One is the foundational level, which is if someone with no background in accounting, they can start with this level, and which comprise of four papers. These four papers, upon completion of these four papers, you can obtain your certificate in business accounting. So in CIMA, in CMA, you have to complete both parts in order for you to get your certificate. Whereas in CIMA, there are levels. Each level you complete, you can move ahead to the next level and you can obtain a certificate for this level. which also is attractive to employers. Still, you can work with this certificate that you obtain from that level. Second level is operational level, where upon completion of this level, you will get your diploma in management accounting. This level basically comprised of 3 papers. It's mostly about managing finance in the digital worlds, management accounting, and financial reporting. These are the 3 papers where you complete your operational level with a case study exam, operational case study exam. We will talk further about what's the difference in the exam of the objective papers and of professional papers. Then, of course, upon successful completion of the operational level of CIMA, you can move forward to the management level. Management level, upon completion of this level, you will get an advanced diploma in management accounting, which is also a very popular certificate, and still you can have job and attract employers through having this diploma. This management level has 3 papers too, and a case study. The 3 papers are E2, P2, and F2. Now, E2 is focused on the managing performance. P2 is focused on advanced management accounting, and F2 is advanced financial reporting. So if you can see, it's just like you upgrade your level in management accounting and in financial reporting through this level. And you complete the level by completing the management case study exam, which is basically also a 3 hours test. We will explain more about it. And the final level, which will get you the full qualification, is the strategic level. Strategic level also comprise of 3 objective tests, which is the strategic management, the risk management, and the financial strategy. And it complete by completing the strategic case study exam. So upon completion of this final level, you can get your CIMA qualification, and you will become a chartered international management accountant awarded by the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, UK. Now, of course, you should meet certain level of experience, same as the CMA. CMA also, upon completion of your exam, your both parts, they will require you to submit certain number of years of experience in order for you to be able to get your certificate. And same for the CIMA. In order to be a full member, you need to submit these experience applications. And I will talk a little bit about the exams. Of course, the objective tests usually are available throughout the year, and each test is 90 minutes long, multiple choice questions. For the professional level, which is the case studies, they are usually 4 windows in a year for these papers, and they are written papers. The exam is 3 hours long, and where you have, of course, to answer to these case studies. Usually they are based on a pre-scene. What this means, that pre-scene is a case study a company with its information released by CIMA 6 weeks before the examination. This company has information and you represent employee in this company depending on the level you are in, operational or management or strategic, where you recommend some decisions and some actions for the company. So the practical side, which you have studied in objective tests, you have been tested. And this case study is more as you apply all what you have studied in these papers, you apply it in a practical way. So these are the case study papers and what they comprise of. I can say now I understand that the most challenging is the length of CIMA qualification. And this is maybe what made me go for CMA first. But now CIMA has, since some time, created some routes and some programs for the educational route and for the professional route, experience route. These routes basically help you exempt some papers in order for you to shorten your journey throughout the CIMA. And these exemptions actually are based on the concept that you already, through what they can see from your educational level or experience level, that you have already worked through these in a practical way. So you don't have to go back to a foundational level or operational or sometimes management level. You can go straight to the strategic levels sometimes, depending on this experience route and the educational route. So for the educational route, of course, if you have, let's say, a master's degree, then you would be able to exempt good number of papers if they accepted your master's degree. It depends on your transcripts. So you just submit these documents to CIMA and they will respond to you with your exact exemptions that you can obtain through this education which you have done. There is also a very interesting route that CIMA few years before created, which is getting really popular, but restrictive, of course, to certain candidates only. These professional candidates who has certain level of experience, they can apply through a route, experience route, which is Berkeley basically are the exclusive partners for this for CIMA and for this certain route. Sorry. So where we I will drink some water. So so where sorry this bug is going around everywhere. So so basically this route where we apply for you through your experience. If you are in a management level, if you have a managerial level experience where you have been involved in management or in strategic related roles, we can help you get really good number of exemptions. It can go up to 14 or 15 papers exemptions out of the 16 papers exemptions of CIMA. So if you are a finance manager, controller, CFO, there is a scope for you to apply through this route and get your full qualification of CIMA through attempting only 1 or 2 exams. This is the most unique route that CIMA has created to help professionals who don't really have to go through the basic levels of CIMA in order to become a chartered accountant. No, they can just go straight to the final level. Now, for as you have seen, CIMA also lately has a joint venture with the AICPA, which awards the CPA USA. They have a joint venture where they created this designation of CGMA, Chartered Global Management Accountant. And for this CGMA is an additional designation that you will get based on you completing also your CIMA qualification. So this has been really, other than the lots of mutual recognition agreement with different parties around the world, from CPA Australia to CMA Canada, to ICAEW India. There is also the Coastal Management Accountants Pakistan. There are lots of institutes that CIMA has actually mutual recognitions, which you can also, as a member of these certifications or qualifications, you can also apply for exemptions for CIMA, and you can get good number of exemptions, which will help you get this globally recognized British qualification. Now, of course, if you will say which is recognized more, both CMA USA and CIMA are globally recognized, but they are more recognized in certain regions or certain areas. If I will talk about the Middle East, they are equally recognized in the Middle East, despite that maybe the American education has been prominent for so many years. But truly, now also the British education is getting really strong in terms of this professional qualifications. So they are equally strong and equally recognized. There are American companies, there are British companies in the Middle East. So it has a scope. Some employers will prefer CMA USA, others will prefer CIMA UK. So both have a scope in the Middle East. If you go to US, of course, CMA USA have more scope. If you go to Commonwealth and UK, Europe, you will find that CIMA is more recognized and more acknowledged in these countries. China maybe slightly, CMA USA. So it's just like region-wise. But talking about the Middle East, they are they are both equally recognized in the Middle East, and with this very unique roots also, which CIMA has created. So it gave equal chances for you to have the CMA USA, which is a two-part exam, and equal chances also to get your CIMA qualification. So basically, it just depends on, as a career path, both are in management accounting. As a, you have to weigh what you really want. You want to get certification. Your company is more interested in this CMA certification, or your employer is more interested in a chartered qualification, which is equal to ACCA and CA in terms of strength and in terms of recognition, which is CIMA. So mainly, I believe these are the differences. Mostly it was about time, which is now it's more easier to get the CIMA in a shorter time. CMA also is dear to me, and it's a very strong certificate. It's just need a lot of commitment, consistency, in order for you to get your certification or qualification, as any education required from your side. Because you know, through my all life experience and going through this experience myself, if you don't have the consistency, you can never reach to your goals. You have to make some sacrifices in terms of time, in terms of maybe social life, just in the term that you are trying to prepare for your future, for your investment in yourself, which is your education. So you eventually have to give the commitment and the focus on this. This is all what I wanted to say now about CIMA and CMA and how they are both compared to each other. I hope this session was insightful for you. You learned the differences between them, and it helped you decide somehow which path you want to take. And of course, you can always revert back to us if you need any further details, or you wish us to give you mentoring or advice about any professional route that you would like to take. Thank you very much.